2. The Cincinnati Reds pitched well.
What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another MLB 20 franchise mode video, guys. So getting close towards the end, guys. Definitely just going to go ahead and do a quick recap. So the CPU definitely screwed us over. They took out Granderson, which I understand. You know, Granderson's a little bit on the older side. But for me, Granderson is he provides that veteran presence in the locker room, and also at the same time it allows us to continue to sign our prospects at a low price, because this is the one thing about baseball: if you keep them out of the majors, potentially their salaries are like $100K. So you allow them to develop in the AAA system, and then you basically bring them when they're ready. I personally think our prospect, Mr. Drew, had another year before he was considered to be fully ready, and now this is going to cost us about $400,000, because now we're going to basically have to deal with the fact that, you know, he's going to ask for $500,000 because he's already made his major league debut. And so with that being said, just skipping forward a couple of the games here, just right now, not the greatest of start actually for a defending World Series championship caliber team. Right now we're below 500. Trying to see if we could get some wins here to finish out the month good. And so we end up finishing at 500 to end April, so 16-16 as we get to May 1st. There you see the Dodgers on top of the division with the Giants and the Rockies closely behind. So it's a four-man race, and the D-backs are actually not that far behind, to be quite frank. Look at that, 13-18. That's actually not too bad, to be quite frank. And so once again, I know MLB 21 release is just around the corner, so I do apologize if we cram this season a little bit, but I do want to get all the parts out. So like I mentioned, guys, I think definitely we're gonna finish this season and then end the series on season 2. With the release of MLB 21, and we'll see if we continue MLB 21. We might wait a bit, just to see how the game is and see how the hype is. I know this one's gonna be a non-exclusive anymore, from what I remember reading. I could be wrong. There could be. I could be wrong, but anyway, guys, we're trying to go for a steal here, so we unfortunately strike out both times, trying to get a steal here to advance the basement, and now it's going to be all up to Will Myers here in the Phillies game, and so just go ahead and pushing it through, and unfortunately it's going to give him the final out of the game here. And so with that being said, the Phillies will end up getting the win here, and so just trying to go for a shutout here, get the win here, go 2 out of 3. We split the series with the Indians, unfortunately lose against the Brewers, and now they're coming for a rematch. It's 8-zip. We're gonna go ahead and sim that one too against Cincinnati. I think that one should be okay to pull the win, and we do. And so now we got the D-back, so trying to push them out of the way, and they're finally starting to collapse as we head into the month of June, and now we're going to be facing the Dodgers here, and so unfortunately first year draft is going to start. Just going to take a quick peek at some of the picks our scouts have recommended for us. Honestly, baseball's the one sport that, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really prepare much of a scouting list. I kind of just look at whoever looks to be good for player wise, because there's so much trading that's involved with prospects, that some of the people you end up drafting, they never end up playing it in the major leagues anyway. So definitely this is one of the sports where I would definitely say that I don't really follow much of the draftees, as we're just pretty much just going to go with the best option for us, just the best available prospect, and just kind of go from there, as we're skipping some of the picks here, trying to forward for. I know officially, I know they're trying to reduce the number of draft rounds. I know in real life there's more than 6, but in the game they only cap you at 6 picks, which is honestly pretty fine, because most of them, like I said, I don't end up signing anyway, and if I do, I end up replacing or trading them away. And so now we're going to take a short drive to Anaheim, which ironically from San Diego is probably about an hour 15 away. So they're asking me to go ahead and make some recommendations and put somebody into the rotation. I think we're gonna go ahead and just make that substitution and go with the recommended thing. Definitely want to avoid an injury here. So as we go ahead and start here, so far so good. No score yet here through 3. Charlie, I'm really depending on Charlie to really get a really good game here, and hopefully ends up working out in our favor as we end up scoring here. Definitely hoping to turn the season around a little bit, because like I mentioned, the Dodgers are in first place. I know for a fact that we've always competed against the Dodgers, but we would definitely want us to have a better run, especially considering that a lot of us are kind of like expecting us to try to see if we can repeat. And so heading in, so right now, trying to see if we can continue this offense. We get another 2-run batter here as we end up bringing in Luis because just to replace our pitcher, because Charlie Morton was starting to get a little tired out. And so trying to see if we can finish the game here. We end up getting a solo home run there, and that should pretty much honestly do it. Actually, Mike Trout's coming on, so let me go ahead and get involved here. I think we're gonna come on in. Yeah. I'm kind of like, I don't want to do it because I'm trying to get the video done quick, but it's like, let's go ahead and do it. And so right now we're struggling with the Rockies, tied for second here in the wild card race. So it's actually a very crucial win for us to really get the stop here, as Trout is going to knock it out of the park, and of course. And so with that being said, it's a 7-4 ball game, guys. Trout is going to get the home run there for the Angels. And so with that being said, bottom of the 8th, getting the first out right there. Just a quick stop here. It was a very close call. I will definitely say it was a very close call. But now here we go for trying to get out number 2. We're going to go ahead and rush it here to the outskirts of the field, and we end up getting, as the commentary say, to the warning tracks. And so with that being said, we get out number 2. And so with that, get the first strike here. After 2 strikes in, I don't know what ends up happening there. Animation's kind of a little funky, but the catcher ends up getting the guy for the 3rd out here, as we're going to go to the top of the 9th. And so with that being said, Tatis unfortunately ends up being a foul ball territory, as we're going to go ahead and try it again. Here comes the windup and the pitch. Unfortunately, no good that time. So try it one more time. Let's see. And so we end up deciding to just go ahead and simulate. We don't really need to be involved for the rest of the game. And I feel like it just kind of takes up much more of the time if we continue playing with these pitches. So either way, we end up getting the win here, a nice solid win, and so we move on to the series against the Brewers. Unfortunately, we end up losing that series there, so kind of undoing the victory we had. And so still trying to chase the Rockies here, trying to get it back at them one win at a time, as we once again go for the windup and the pitch there. It's going to be a straight hit. I think it's going to go out. I think it's going to be an out, yeah. Okay, so straight out. And so unfortunately ended up coming up short against the Braves there. And so just going to go ahead and move on to the Miami team, the Miami Marlins, and our former team for the MLB 19 franchise mode. And so we're going to go ahead and skip here. And so looks like 4 games out of the Rockies territory, so got to start chasing these wins here. And so with that being said, look at Machado. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be just fouled. Bottom of the 9th here, and unfortunately end up getting the nab there. And so with that being said, final opportunity here. It is going to be a 3-run homer. Good job to Tommy Pham. And so with that being said, the game is over. We are able to get the victory here against the Phillies. Crucial win for us, guys. So now we should be about 3 games behind the Rockies. And I'm definitely really excited about this. Definitely was kind of like, we really need to get this win. We really need to start getting wins here. I mean, the pressure was, I was definitely starting to feel it, and so it just bounces through the wall, and so just end up performing up into expectations, and so we're gonna go ahead and get involved for the next game. And so once again we face the Anaheim Angels one more time. This time we're gonna go ahead and do the quick sim, doing the little coach mode to try to get these simulations done as quickly as possible, so we can truck through as much of the season. I'll be very honest with you guys, I'm probably trying to see if we can get to the All-Star game, just so that way we could do the next part B All-Star game to maybe August or September, and then we could do, if we do postseason, we can try to see if we can mix a couple parts together, so that way we can finish the series in a jiffy, hopefully. And so now Luis is starting to get a little tired here, but we end up getting the homer there, and so it's going to be bottom of the 6th here. Starting to feel a little bit of the pressure, trying to see if we could get some scoring here. And so first strikeout, and so it is now going up. And so we go to the top of the 8th, trying to get once again that stop here. And so bottom of the half, and so we get the the 2-run there. I'm starting to feel nervous here. It's going to be top of the 9th, and it should be okay. Yeah, Padres, we end up getting the victory there. Very close call here. And so with that being said, we go to the next rotation, the next game of the series here. And so just trying to see if we can start some offense here, but it's just kind of tough right now, definitely. And so our boy Mike, who has been just trying to establish himself as a top option for us on the pitching wise. That's the one thing I will say. Our pitchers, they have been pretty decent for us. They've been pretty good. I wouldn't say there's anybody that stands out to me in particular with this Padre organization. I think for us, we have some really good fielders. We have Manny Machado, we have Tatis Jr., and we have Tommy Pham now. And so just a couple of the players, really good job in getting this going. As we hit in, right now just feeling the pressure. Looks like they're going to bring in a reliever here, or a closer, to try to end this series here. And so Justin Upton ends up taking left fielder. Not really sure who he ended up replacing. And so with that being said, Machado on base here, bottom of the 9th. And so feeling the pressure. Catcher ends up getting it, goes really aggressive to try to get the stop here against us, and he ends up doing really well. And so now it's going to be Eric Hosner, 1 out here, and trying to see if we can do the same miracle here and get the game tied. It is going to be just short there, and so it's going to be out number 2. And so with that being said, this one's going away, but unfortunately not too far to the left. And so with this one, I think this is going to be a lot closer. It ends up falling out of his hand. I don't think he actually ended up getting the catch. And so with that being said, we have a man on second here. So it ends up actually keeps an 8-game hitting streak actually. So good job to him. Kudos to getting us on second base here. Final out of the inning, possibly final out of the game if we don't get a stop here. And so we're going to go ahead and bring in Starlin Castro. Unfortunately, no Curtis Granderson, not this time around. I think we're going to go ahead and go for Castro, who has been a really strong option for us. And coming off the potential bench, I know his contract is coming up real soon. So I know we'll have to re-sign him and a couple of the other guys in the near future. And so we end up bringing in Kirby Yates to close this game off here. So I guess the road teams will be having an advantage here. So if I was in Anaheim, looks like the Anaheim team has a very strong home court field advantage. And so with that being said, we go to the top of the 10th, trying to see if we can end this series on a high note. And so we end up getting a couple strikes there. And so that will take us to the 11th inning. And so just look at this: 1 run, 7 hits, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error. So a very almost like borderline near identical game here. But it's all good because we end up getting the win there. And so that will put this game out of reach, and unfortunately they will not be able to respond here to us in overtime. I think that's the one thing we should give ourselves a lot of credit for, is we stop we stop all these potential mishaps from happening, and so works out really good to our favor. I love the camo on their uniform. And so with that being said, getting close to July and pretty much All-Star Weekend, just trying to see if we can just take a look at this replay one more time. Boom. Okay. And so, once again, for those of you not knowing, Tommy Pham, he ends up getting the nice homer there, and so now things are going to be interesting come contract extension time, because now we have to worry about making sure that we can get Tommy Pham back. Actually, sorry, excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. I completely lost my train of thought for a second. And so with that being said, we're going back to the Dodger series here. So that's the one thing I do give credit to baseball, is we have a lot of opportunities for us to face similar teams night in and night out. That's a good thing about 162, is there's so much room for us to be able to get to know our opponent. And this is going to be one of those occasions, once again, putting Charlie Morton to the test. Starting to get a little tired there, and I'm kind of getting nervous, so I'm going to go ahead and put a new pitcher into the game just to make sure we can get it going. And so unfortunately Zach ends up throwing the ball there, completely botching. We're going to end up getting Lewis, and so I don't believe we'll be able to really recover from this, guys. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and leave the video right here once we finish the simulation. Looks like it should be top of the 9th. And so they do end up getting the win, guys. So take care, guys. Stay safe out there and be ready for the next one.